This one, all you do is throw your head back and open your tonsils wide and do what's known as a talking blues.
Hello all. What exactly are talking blues? Well, basically, it's speech set to music. According to Wikipedia, in the 1920s, a folk singer named Chris Bouchelon developed his trademark talking way of singing because of his supposedly horrible singing voice. His recording director, however, reportedly loved to listen to him talk and recommended that he re-record a few songs by talking instead of singing. His record, called Talking Blues, was released in 1927 and it became a hit. 30 years later, the Weavers covered that song, and as you'll hear in a moment, with thanks to Tom Joad 1234 on YouTube, it and virtually all talking blues songs follow the same basic chord progression of G, C, D. Okay, enough of these introductory remarks. Let's get back to the Weavers and their recording of Chris Bouchelon's Talking Blues.
Now you want to go to heaven, let me tell you what to do. Got to grease your feet in little mutton stew. You just slide out of the devil's hand and ooze over in the promised land. Take his ball. Go greasy. Slipping and sliding, Fred. Well, now Mama's in the kitchen preparing to eat. Sister's in the pantry looking for some yeast. Papa's in the cellar mixing up the hops. Brother's at the window watching for the cops, drinking home brew. Makes you happy. Now there ain't no use me working so hard. I got a gal in the rich folks' yard. They kill a chicken, she sends me the head. She thinks I'm working, I'm laying up in bed. I'm having a good time. I'm dreaming about her and two other women. Now it took me a wife about 5 years ago. We got a little boy now, just about 4. He gets up at the table and he slaps his ma, rubs syrup in my hair and says, ain't you my pa? Runs string beans up my nose. Rubs mustard in my eyes, potatoes in my ears. Cute kid, yeah. Well, nobody liked the way I talked, so I went out and I took a walk. I decided I'd go to some institution, get them to teach me elocution. Oh, now, brown cow. Right now, green bull. I was down in the hen house, down on my knees, when I thought I heard a chicken sneeze. But it was only the rooster saying his prayers, thanking the Lord for the hens upstairs. What with roosters a-praying, all the hens a-laying, little pullets just plugging away the best they knew how.
If you, like me, are a baby boomer from a musical home, you probably were raised on the Weavers. But for those of you of a younger generation, allow me to tell you a bit about them. The Weavers were a legendary folk music quartet who sold millions of records at the height of their popularity in the early 1950s. Their music had an indelible influence on Peter, Paul and Mary, the Kingston Trio, and Bob Dylan, just to name a few folk performers who followed in their footsteps. Of the original Weavers, Pete Seeger, Lee Hayes, Fred Hellerman, and the only woman of the group, Ronnie Gilbert, Two members, Pete Seeger and Lee Hayes, recorded talking blues songs in the late 1940s. Here are two of those songs, both with a political agenda. First, here is Talking Bilbo, performed by Lee Hayes. It's a scathing denunciation of the Southern segregationist politician from Mississippi, Senator Theodore Bilbo.
Down in Mississippi, there lived a man who got his education from a garbage can. He got a lot of grudges and he got a lot of hates, and they put him in the Congress of the United States. Shame on Congress. Well, he went up to Congress, and there he sits, and he raves, and he foams, and he sputters, and he spits, runs around like a dog that's got the fits, biting people, scaring them. What do you do with a dog that's lost his wits? Cut his head off, send it to the Board of Health, have it looked into. Well, he writes a lot of letters, and he writes a lot of notes. He's good to the people that have got the votes, but if you live up, say, in New York State, he'll send you a letter that's full of hate, or anywhere above the Mason-Dixon line, he'll reach down inside his dirty mind, call you Dago, Kike, Red. Well, blood is red, and a lot of it was shed to win the war on the other side. A lot of fascists turned up their toes and died, but he didn't. He's still around. Well, he hates the Negroes, and he hates the Jews, and he hates the good people who pay union dues. He'd like to put the Constitution on the shelf and run the country to suit himself. No FEPC, no unions, no country. Well, I haven't mentioned this gentleman's name, for when I use dirty words, I feel ashamed, but I'll tell you. First letter of his name stands for blustering, balderdash, and just plain bull. Second letter stands for ill-tempered, ill-mannered, and illiterate. The third letter stands for lousy, legislative, lying lunkhead. The next letter stands for still more bull. And the last letter stands for odoriferous, ornery, and obituary, which is long overdue.
Next, here is Talking Atom, performed by Pete Seeger just a few years after the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945.
I'm gonna preach you a sermon about old man Adam, and I don't mean Adam in the Bible, datum. I don't mean the Adam that Mother Eve mated. I mean that thing that science liberated. Einstein says he's scared. And if Einstein's scared, boy, I'm scared. Well, if you're scared of the A-bomb, here's what to do. You got to join with all the people in the world with you. 'Cause if we don't get together and do it well, first thing you know, we'll blow this world to... Well, here's the moral as plain as day. Old man Adam is here to stay. He's gonna stick around, it's plain to see. But my dearly beloved, are we? We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men may be cremated equal. You know, life used to be such a simple joy. The cyclotron was just a super toy. Folks got born, they'd work and marry, and Adam was a word in the dictionary. Then it happened. These science guys from every clime, they all pitched in with overtime. Before you knew it, the job was done. They'd hitched up the power of the doggone sun, put a harness on old Sol. Splitting atoms right and left, while the diplomats were splitting hairs. Of course, the cartel crowd up and put on a show. They're gonna turn back the clock on the UNO. Grab a corner on atoms and maybe extinguish every darn atom can't speak English. Down with foreign-born atoms, America for American atoms. Step right up, folks, and atomize world peace. But the Adams International, in spite of hysteria, flourishes in Utah, also Siberia. Whether you're white, black, red, or brown, the question is this when you boil it down: to be or not to be? That is the question. Atoms to atoms and a dust to dust. If you listen to the money bag, something's bound to bust. Yes, it's up to the people, 'cause the atom don't care. You can't fence him in, he's just like air. He don't give a darn about any politics or who got what into whichever fix. All he wants to do is sit around and have his nucleus bombarded by neutrons. Now, the answer to it all ain't military datum like who gets there fastest with the most as atoms, but the people of the world must decide their fate. We gotta stick together or disintegrate.
Please join me on Tuesday for later examples of talking blues as vehicles for even more scathing social commentary. Signing off for now with a spoken song in my heart.